Hi students, welcome to today's session in oral pathology. In this video, we are going to discuss about muco-epidermoid carcinoma. Okay, so muco-epidermoid carcinoma is one another important salivary gland tumor. This is very simple tumor, muco-epidermoid. Now, I think you are in a position to explain to me what is muco-epidermoid carcinoma. Muco and epidermis, epidermoid carcinoma. So from the name in this case, we can say that there is something related to muco, something related to epidermoid. So there is presence of mucus cells and there is epidermoid cells. Epidermoid cells. In this carcinoma, this is a carcinoma. And some facts about mucoepidermoid carcinoma is that it most commonly comes in the parotid gland. Okay, in parotid gland, and it can come intraorally in the in the palatal minor salivary glands, in the palatal minor salivary glands it can come, right? Most common occurrence. And what else? You can see that it is the most common malignant salivary gland tumors. It is the most common malignant salivary gland tumor, either be in the adult or in the children. A malignant salivary gland tumor of your major gland or your minor gland, whatever it is, MEC, mucoepidermoid carcinoma. Okay, mucoepidermoid carcinoma is the answer. And what else you have to learn here is that mucus and epidermoid cells. So if you take the histopathology, if I take the histopathology, what all cells I'm gonna see mucus cells. And how a mucus cell look like, we have discussed in the first introductory video. How a mucus cell look like? It is a tall columnar cell with the nucleus is pushed towards its base because of the presence of large mucinous content in the cell. So the cytoplasm is completely filled of mucinous cells. Okay, mucinous content is full of mucin content, and the nucleus is pushed towards one side. That is mucus cell. Okay, you can see a mucus cell, which is a large cell, which is columnar, and this content of mucin, it will be, cytoplasm will be having lot of mucin. And how do you observe a epidermoid cell? Epidermoid cell will be epidermoid. Okay, I have told you epidermoid, epithelioid, epidermoid. Okay, it is looking like a epidermis cell. It is polygonal. Okay, it is polygonal, and you can see there is a nucleus, small nucleus in the center. So this is how a epidermoid cell look like. And along with this, mucoepidermoid carcinoma has a third type of cell. Okay, in between, that is called intermediate cell. So first is a mucus cell, second is the epidermoid cell, and third one we have an intermediate cell. So intermediate cells are nothing but small round cells with a dark nuclei. Okay, small round cell with a small nuclei, and it is very difficult to find. Okay, it is very difficult to locate this intermediate cell in MEC practically. Okay, practically. So this is how this is a cell which is seen. Now about the architecture, if you see architecture of MEC, they have a lot of cystic spaces. Okay, they have a lot of cystic spaces lined by this mucus cell. Okay, that is the very interesting feature or highlighting feature, the identifying feature of mucoepidermoid carcinoma. Okay, so that is what you have to identify when they ask a IBQ. Okay, when they ask a IBQ image based question in MEC, mucoepidermoid carcinoma, first thing you have to find that, see these cystic spaces. This is a cystic space. This is a space. This is a cystic space. All these are cystic spaces. And you can see that in the lining, if I take the cystic space, if I take the cystic space alone, I am seeing so much of mucus cells. See, all these are mucus cells. Okay, all these are mucus cells. I will erase and show you. Now you can see that very carefully, that all these are mucus cells. They see the cytoplasm on the top. In the cytoplasm they have on the top, that is clear, that is looking clear because their nucleus is pushed towards the base, and this portion, okay, see this part, you may highlight this part and see, you can see that these are all mucus cells and that are lining a large cystic cavity. Okay, this is mucus cells, that is mucoepidermoid carcinoma. And these areas, you will see this area, these are all epidermoid cells, polygonal cells. They are polygonal cells. We have mucus cells here, in here we have mucus cells. Okay, and here we have epidermoid cells. Okay, so presence of this mucous cell and epidermoid cells. Intermediate cells are very difficult to find. Okay, that is very difficult to target. So presence of this gives muco-epidermoid carcinoma. Now there are different gradings of this muco-epidermoid carcinoma that I am not going into detail of this grading. You can see grading is based on the certain things. Okay, the grading of MEC. The grading, many people has given the grading. Grading is given by many people. Oclayer's grading, AFIP grading. Okay, I'm not going into that, but grading depends upon presence of necrosis, how much necrosis is there, or how much area of cystic space is there. Cystic spaces is there, how much amount of mucous cells is there. Okay, mucous cells, cystic areas. Okay, if there is more mucous cells and if there is more cystic areas, we say that it is a low grade tumor. A low grade. And if mucous cells are reducing in number and more squamous cells or more epidermoid cells are there and cystic areas are not much, we say intermediate grade. Okay, intermediate grade. And if mucous cells are very rare to see and you see no cystic areas much, you see high amount of necrosis, you see perineural invasion, okay, nerve invasion and all, then we say it is a high grade tumor. Okay, high grade. So there is so many factors which determine the grade. Okay, the nerve invasion, the mucus content, the cystic space content, the nerve involvement and necrosis, and cellular pleomorphism, how much pleomorphic they are. So as the grade increases, the prognosis also decreases. Okay, so if it is a low grade, it is having a much better prognosis, but in a high grade lesion, worse prognosis. Okay, and this is how it is graded. Okay, and one thing for your INICET people, those who are interested in INICET, what is the gene which is mutated? Okay, in the end of the session, end of the salivary gland session, I think in the question I will give you a list of gene mutations which is usually seen in salivary gland tumors. Okay, so if you can see that in the FAQ section, which we will discuss the previous year questions, and along with that I will give you a gist. I have prepared a gist for you where you can have a quick revision. Okay, so gene mutation in your muco-epidermoid carcinoma is your CRTC MAML2 MAML2. Okay, CRTC MAML2, CRTC1 MAML2, CRTC1 MAML3. That's a real name. Okay, CRTC1 MAML2. Okay, this is the real one, MAML2. Okay, CRTC1 MAML2. This is a gene mutation you see in a muco-epidermoid carcinoma. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, the muco-epidermoid carcinoma. I will come back with a new video on other salivary gland tumors. See you. Bye.